Yeah.
Wow, man, that's an amazing story, man. That's an amazing
Appreciate
story about the business and like how it reflects your personal life and what was going on and everything. But even at that time, like you got good placement. You start getting placements. You started getting as a producer. You were getting placements. You're getting the placements with Lecrae, with the Flames, with all these other people. How did those come about? Like, how did those different placements come about for you? Like, as a producer.
Yeah, I can't make this stuff up, man. Like it's literally all proximity.
Mm.
So being in Cincinnati, I don't know, like God brought he just put me in the perfect place. So my wife at the time, like when I first met her, I remember how I met my wife was I rapped at her church.
Mm.
It was for vacation Bible school. So I was there the whole week. I wrote a song for VBS for all the kids to learn. So kindergarten through 12th grade, everybody had to learn the same song.
Yeah.
Um, and so like it was really cool. And then my wife and I we hit it off. But then a few weeks later, she was leaving for camp. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to this camp. It's called KA, Kids Across America. And I'm like, okay. I had never heard of it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah. So like she goes away to camp, her and all the youth from her church. And she comes back and she's like, yeah, there's this rapper. That one of the kids who went, you should meet him. He raps. So like we hit it off. But then another older youth from a little older than us, he loved the camp so much that he became a camp director. He was a counselor. So bringing all that back, so like I remember I worked with this group who also went to KAA. They were coming up with this dance routine. They're playing this song. I never heard the song before in the world. It's like it's got all these synths. It sounds different than anything I've ever heard. And he's like crossover from death to life and da 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 da.
Mm.
That like okay, I like this. You can find me in church. Like I don't, like so. Then I'm starting to put all the pieces together. I'm like, oh, this Lecrae. Okay, he's like KAA, and I'm not realizing he's writing songs for the camp because years later I ended up mixing some of Flame. Flame would write. I got a bunch of unreleased Flame songs on my hard drive that he wrote for KAA. I got like
Wow.
they're dope too. So anyway, the camp counselor hits me up and it's like, yo, you want to come 4th of July weekend and rap? It'll be you, Lecrae, Trip Lee, and Tadashi. And I'm like, okay, yeah, yes, thank you very much. So I go, I got on a Greyhound, rode to Branson. Man, I'll never forget opening. And they came, all three of them came up to me afterwards. Just like, yo, that was dope. That was crazy. But they were like, who does your beats? I'm like, I make most of the beats you heard me perform to, I made. And they're like, oh, we gotta talk. That's what Lecrae said. Because I met Lecrae a year earlier at GMA week. So like 2005, I went everywhere. I went to Holy Hip Hop January. I went to GMA in March. I went to Texas, Houston Hip Hop Achievement Award, whatever. It was a longer name, but like that was super dope. Went there in June. I went to Rat Fest in August in New York, and then I went to Flavor Fest. I did all of that in 05.
Wow.
I was grinding like nobody's business. So I met Lecrae, and then my name started kind of getting around. Because I did like Flavor Fest and Fanatic. I opened for Fanatic at that. I opened for Shaolin at Rat Fest. So it was like I'm starting to meet people. I'm taking all the dots. And for Lecrae, like when he was like, we gotta talk, like, because there was already a little history there, like he had told me he used to listen to my music on SoundClick during the SoundClick days because he was like, you had that South sound, you had that Southern sound, like he liked Big Steve for that. So that kind of caught me off guard. So like, yeah, I ended up sending him like 5 beats. I sent him an email, just one email, 5 beats, and he got paper, just first email. Like I was, and every person I produced for was not the same, because Flame was the opposite. Like Flame, now the reason why I know Flame is because Crystal, his wife, is from Cincinnati, of all places.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Like, what in the world? So like she was at first she dated a Christian rapper. That's how we all knew her. Yeah. And then they went their separate ways. And then like we had heard she was dating this Christian rapper, but we didn't know she was dating Flame. Like we're like, all the people,
Yeah.
So she always would put on for us. Like she loved Cincinnati. She loved the Christian rap scene. And so I think Flame was like, he always kind of looked out for me, even like before we were collaborating musically.
Yeah.
He even wrote a review for Behind the Glory. So like I would put that review on my flyers that I passed out. And then I asked him one day if I could send him some beats. I had sent him some beats in the past, but just didn't get anywhere with them. And then and I didn't mention this, but the apartment that I lived in, the guy who lived in that apartment before me, he was a Christian rapper as well. He was leaving to do an internship. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this internship. I'm doing an internship at Cross Movement. Oh, what? Oh, wow, that's cool. So right? He ends up being the A&R director at Cross Movement. And so like there was just all this like stuff happening to where like there was just no choice but for me to be in the mix. And then I sent Flame these beats. And then that's when he picked Hold On out of that batch. So he only picked Hold On, but then Jay Sun heard Hold On, was like, yo, I need a beat like Hold On. So I was trying to make him all these beats. Jay Sun is super picky. Like I got PTSD from trying to produce for him, man. And but you need people like that who, I think he was one of the people that really helped me level up production wise, trying to do my best. And so yeah, I actually had got a placement. Well, I got a couple little placement. He used my beats for like interludes and stuff. But like I did a beat for him, and Flame heard the beat and liked it so much that he asked Jay Sun if he could have the beat. That ended up becoming all gonna pass. So that was like an indirect placement. And so they were kind of racking up, and and then Show Baraka, like he had got the instrumental from Air Jordan from Wade O. I had no clue because I was doing stuff with Alex Faith, and before people knew who he was, because he was a fan of mine. He would just post on message boards on Hip Hop for the Soul. We all had our own message board. I had a This Click one. He would always post on there. And I didn't know who Alex Faith was. He was just a young kid at the time. I didn't realize he was going to be who he was. But yeah, I didn't know he was like becoming an engineer and all these things. And so I guess Show Baraka was recording with him at the time. And then he had recorded this Air Jordan remix. And that's when I got wind of that. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then we ended up turning that into, he wanted to do a Kobe Bryant remix with me on it and put it on as a bonus track for Lions and Liars. So that's kind of how all these different ones, they all got stories, bro. Like word of mouth. Like some of it was word of mouth, but most of it was just different connections with different people, like just through Cincinnati or whatnot.